Welcome to the Get Fit Guys quick and dirty tips to get moving and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong and I am the Get Fit Guy, and you know what, you fit folks? With this episode, I have reached a milestone, and that is the 100th episode that I have done as the Get Fit Guy. And in this episode, we're going to take a goofy look at some of the Google search terms that people have used to find the Quick and Dirty Tips website and all my podcasts and blogs. Can you believe that it has been 2 years and 100 episodes since the former Get Fit Guy, Ben Greenfield, handed me the keys to his fitness kingdom? Well, it's true. Now, what's that old saying, time flies when you're on a treadmill? No, that can't be right. But, well, anyway, in those 2 years, 100 episodes, and 40-some blog posts, I've gone undercover to investigate some of the latest trends and fads in fitness. I've dug into some of the lesser-known exercise techniques and things like cryotherapy. I've investigated some of the latest research, like in the episode, Do Fitness Trackers Lead to Better Fitness, for example. And I have broken down some complicated exercises into their basic components, like I did with the 8 steps to doing a burpee. And of course, I've answered many readers' and listeners' questions about fitness and movement as well, like when I answered reader Aaron's question about how to build strong and pain-free feet. Although, there are some questions that readers have searched for that I haven't answered, and that's not because I didn't want to, but because, well, you know what? You'll see. Just hang on. For today's episode, I asked the Quick and Dirty Tips team to find me some of the terms that readers and listeners have used in their Google searches that inevitably led them to the Get Fit Guy homepage. And boy, oh boy, am I glad I did. The things that we ask Google for when we're trying to find answers, well, they sometimes look strange. But, believe it or not, I've released episodes to cover many of those strange searches, so here are a few of the highlights, starting with the search phrase, muscles of the arm. Now, although I haven't written a post that was simply a list of the muscles in the arm, because, well, that sounds terribly boring, the article that was called Go from Push-Up Zero to Push-Up Hero was the most popular post about the arms in general. In that one, we dove into how doing a simple push-up can actually work on your chest, shoulders, arms, core, glutes, and legs. So, why aren't you doing them right now? Now, the next search phrase that somebody typed into Google was carbs after workout. Now, carbs really aren't my area. Seeing as I'm a movement and fitness professional, not a dietitian, I tend to leave the nutrition stuff to, well, the nutrition diva, my friend and fellow podcaster here on the Quick and Dirty Tips Network. Although I did break that rule when I took a look at amino acids and if they can help build bigger muscles. But you know what? For the most part, I stay in my lane. Now, the next fun search term that somebody landed on our page with was become strongman. Now, unless this individual was searching specifically for instructions on how to become a strongman in a circus sideshow, which incidentally would be super cool, I do actually have some advice for them. And it's not all about getting swole either. I have advice if you want to train your muscles to be functionally strong without hulking out your favorite clothes. Now, the next search term that we came across was how to breathe. Well, okay, I am sure you know how to breathe in general. Now, if you don't, please consult your doctor. But I do actually have some advice on how to do it more effectively during exercise. And I also have some advice on how to use your breath to help you get a better night's sleep and achieve better athletic recovery. Which leads me to the next search phrase, which is, should I lift heavy? Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but I think you should. I also believe that you should lift heavy objects over your head. The overhead press is one of the best shoulder exercises out there, but it also has benefits beyond giving you delts for days. Now, the next search term is a bit of a wacky one, and it is weak butt bone. Wow. Okay. Although we do have some information on how to strengthen your butt on the Quick and Dirty Tips website, none of them actually talk about the butt bone in particular. I have, however, written about why exercise is essential for strong bones, which would indeed apply to your butt. And the next search phrase is, can I work out Olympics? Well, that's not exactly a question. Don't let Grammar Girl see that grammar, or lack thereof, on that one. But assuming our searcher was looking for workout tips related to the Olympics, well, I've got you covered. Especially if we're talking the Winter Olympics. Whether the event be ice, alpine skiing, snowboarding, or Nordic, I have a workout for you. And speaking of the winter, our next search term is too cold to work out Everest. Now, okay, I haven't addressed Mount Everest in particular, but I have talked about cold weather a few times. And it may surprise you that scientists have actually suggested that no temperature is too cold when it comes to exercising outdoors. And you know what? You can take it from me because, well, I'm Canadian. Which brings us to our second last search phrase, which is Soul Cycle, waste of money? And my response is yes. Yes, it is. Enough said? I think so. And our final search phrase is training hot, hot training. Not just hot, but hot, hot. Now, if you've been on a tropical vacation and spotted someone wearing a three-piece suit who's still looking cool as a cucumber while you sweat away in your shorts and flip-flops, well, you've probably wondered about a thing called heat acclimatization without even knowing it. And yes, I have indeed written about the advantages and the cautions of training in hot, hot conditions. You know, I have to say that one of my favorite things to do in my time as the Get Fit Guy has been to pontificate on what it really means to be fit. And, to be honest, my perspective has changed a bit in those 2 years and 100 episodes. I still love to dig into those strange and fringe workouts like occlusion training or using things like electrical muscle stimulation, or crushing a killer workout at places like Orange Theory or Pure Barre. But I'm also becoming more and more aware that a large portion of the population is simply concerned with good health and full mobility, both now and into the future. It's true that the vast majority of you have realized that true fitness has nothing to do with a six-pack or bulging biceps, nor does it have anything to do with a thigh gap or perfectly rounded glutes. That's not a measure of fitness so much as it's a measure of aesthetics. Being able to run a fast 10K or deadlift twice your body weight, well, each one of those represents a measure of fitness, but neither of these by themselves actually define your level of fitness. For example, many runners and cyclists have poor upper body strength, and many lifters have poor cardiovascular fitness. If we want some better measures of fitness, we can look, well, no further than activities like being able to walk, run, or cycle to our workplace or perform errands, carrying a heavy load of groceries, a child, or supplies all the way home, getting around the office building or the apartment building without the need for elevators, within reason. I know some of you live and work in some towers that reach some incredible heights. Also, staying on our feet for an entire workday without the need to sit down all the time. Being willing and able to move a large piece of furniture to clean behind it. As strange as it sounds, being able to squat or sit down on the ground without the need for a pillow or some lumbar support. Also, being able to chase a runaway child or a runaway pet through the neighborhood, lifting heavy objects off a high shelf, or just getting up off the ground using only your legs. Well, I could go on, but I think you get the idea. If we were all able to perform these activities, well, we would raise the national fitness average considerably. And if you are paying attention, you will notice that none of these activities require a gym membership, an expensive outfit, or a coach chasing you around a track with a stopwatch. And that is exactly what I hope I'm conveying in these podcasts. It is fun to dive into the hardcore, the wacky, the trendy, and the fad workouts, But true fitness actually comes from living an active, mobile, and movement-filled lifestyle. You know, I know it sounds cliche, but if it wasn't for you, the listener, this podcast would not exist. So, if you have questions for me or some topics that you'd like me to cover, I've set up a special voicemail page for you to leave me messages on. And you know what? You may even have your question played on the Get Fit Guy podcast, with your permission, of course. Just use the link bit.ly/fitspeakpipe. That's bit.ly/fitspeakpipe, and over there you can easily use your computer's mic or your phone to leave me a message. You can also email me using getfitguy@quickanddirtytips.com, and you can find me on Facebook, I'm @getfitguy, and also Twitter, where I'm @getfitguy. So as you can see, there are many ways to find me and get in touch with me, and I really do want to hear from you. I can keep coming up with topics pretty much forever, but to truly be the best Get Fit Guy I can be, I need your input to help me provide the information that you want to know most. And finally, I want to thank you for reading or listening, or both. I am grateful that you've put your faith in me, and I promise that I will never take that for granted. So here's to the next 100 episodes and to a future of us all staying fit together. And one more thing, in honor of this 100th episode, I'm celebrating with a sweepstakes where you could win a one-on-one virtual coaching session with me. And to enter that, you just go to bit.ly, there's that thing again, bit.ly/GFG session. That's Get Fit Guy Session or GFG session. It's going to be fun, and don't forget to tune in next week because I have a special interview with author and physician Dr. Mark Bubbs, all about his new book called Peak, and you don't want to miss that one. Get Fit Guy is written, narrated, and audio engineered by me, Brock Armstrong, with tons of support from the Quick and Dirty Tips team, including Karen Hertzberg, Morgan Ratner, Michelle Margulis, Emily Miller, and Kathy Doyle. Now, what are you waiting for? Get out there and show what you have learned over these last 100 episodes.